What I don't understand, Tift, is how so much has been accomplished to rot the political universe in just a few hundred years. Political and space-time distortion effects of time dilation seem to be too fast and too much without substantial warping. When the expansion of space accelerates because of the unpacking of dark energy, time passage increases too. The expansion of time without an increase of mass was one of the paradoxes that led me to inquire into the association of mass with time. Obviously, one associates mass with gravity, while time isn't generally held to have a wave particle for itself. In the meanwhile, quantum superposition effects have outpaced the physical expansion with information of neo-Reganomics. Entire galaxies have learned of neo-Reganism even as space-time has been accelerated in its rate of geometric physical expansion. When corporate universal arrives, thousands of planets are ripe and rotten for the plucking by corporate MBA hit squads. There may be no dark energy in this universe, Patrick. An infinite number of theories can account for much observational data with a few variables tossed in. Most theories of modified gravity can lead to consideration of pre-plenum ties of quarks or strings to pre-empty space volume before dimensions, uncertainty perhaps. I gave that some thought as Tift and I debauched the fast walk a few thousand miles away from Aspolia, where I had actualized. We walked into some kind of center of social activity, and there was no non-human animals present. Tift, I see all these people milling about in streams of power in various quantities and qualities, stars in space in your material ribbons to other worlds, presumably. I haven't a clue about how so many people exist in seeming nothingness. Our defense against hostile corporate takeover is on all levels, inclusive of information actualization. This is the advanced version of quantum probability. Ship's version 3.2 increased to any paler scale or field so far as galaxies go. If we wish to retain the appearance and artifacts of a galactic assembly, then we must limit the scale of actualization of a virtual quantum probability field. Our present need is for the secure meeting hall and, of course, for the Virgo cluster core security field. This is virtual particle reality? Essentially correct, Patrick. Virtual particle fields are half of a balanced pair expansion field that is unseen. Our quantum probability field is an induction for quantum disposition. It provides anticipatory determination of what needs to be in a timely way. How did that come about, Tiff? Direct quantum superpositioning in mass wasn't feasible because of the complexity of attaching information to coordinate simultaneous selection criteria of large numbers of quanta. So we derived models from actual existing mass forms to infer the effects that act upon the selection of virtual particles in the vacuum. It became possible with computational progress to provide our own information modeling criteria to serve as a non-local transducer for virtual particle actual concentration. The process is preemptively recurrent a priori. That is, it will continue to appear ahead of itself and of our needs until it is reshaped or deactivated. That is the source of security against immediate corporate invasion with battlestorm? Right, we can screen out the battlestorm as well as our specific location. They know we're in the core of the cluster, of course. They are becoming about as ubiquitous in the background radiation of the universe. They are unable to transmit coherent quantum management information through our virtual probability defense screen. What if conventional military assaults on the secure zone? Simple physical calculations determine the winner in the absolute force exchange. Once pure energy is released, the side with the most mass to transfer destructively wins. The home team generally has the advantage with the greatest mass to convert into defense energy. Spaceships have low mass compared to a galaxy. As we walked through the seeming space itself toward a group of tables set with a rich spread of lunch foods, I asked Tift another question. Well, what if they are profligate enough to convert the mass of a few galaxies into energy and attack your galactic core region with that? Interesting conjecture, Patrick. Let's go over to this table and have some Kona coffee, scrambled eggs, and bacon with Idaho russet potatoes. We have Vita-ketchup, too. The food was spread on regular health wave intelligence plates that recognized and corrected cholesterol and other unhealthful food molecules before intake with inert wave transformation. She took a seat on an invisible chair and poured some raw sugar in her coffee, stirring it with a golden thermospoon indicating a satisfactorily hot cup of Jane, putting some butter and blackberry jam on a piece of toast. I took a bite, chewing it. Tift swallowed and drank more coffee. Then she said, "When they have that much mass, a black hole is formed far too large to move anywhere besides another universe. So far they haven't discovered a method of converting mass to energy and streaming it as an attack weapon in sufficient quantity to defeat a galactic reservoir of mass for defense energy conversion. It is very expensive and profligate, isn't it? Remarkably so. Corporate doesn't give a truth about that, however. It's all passed on to the consumer, hypothetically. Once enough political power is concentrated, executives and shareholders believe it will recover the cost of energy for wars passed on to the public's debts through a monopolizing increase of economic power.